I think the level of delusion, like this story about the hammers, 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 like how on earth do you believe that story? Because there's no basis in reality. Or another one, he told a crazy story where he claimed that firemen were getting shot at in inner cities while they were putting out fires. And I even looked that up because I'm like, what on earth is he talking about? There have been incidents, but they're incredibly rare. Like I even looked up, I'm such a nerd because my background was as a researcher at in the FDNY, for instance, in a given year has 1.9 million calls. 1.9 million calls. And they hadn't had an attack on a fireman. They had one like, I want to say it was like almost 20 years ago. And when that happened, they hadn't had one in like 25 years before that. So it's incredibly freakish that anything like that happens. Trump
You
had
often
convinced
don't shoot
himself.
at people who are trying to put out the fire.
Yeah, firemen are generally beloved by everybody, you know? Even criminals love them because they go,
Oh,
look, they're
thank
putting out a
God.
fire.
He saved my stash house. I won't shoot
Hey.
him.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he kept telling this story about like how they go up on the ladders and if they fall off that ladder, they're dead. They don't even have to inspect the body, they're dead. You know,
And
and
the ladders go up, up,
up,
up into the
up.
sky.
Yes. And it was like, how, what are you taught? Like, what happened to your brain that you believe this story? Like, where are you getting this? And it's just, those have performed really well because people go, this can't be real. And it's real. And
It's
then I,
free association, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
it just sounds like it's stream of consciousness. No thought, just whatever thought pops into his head, he's saying.
Well, yeah. And the last one that you mentioned where he started off with South Africa's communists, then he starts talking about South America, then he starts talking about New York, and then he's like de Blasio, and then he goes from de Blasio into Lori Lightfoot, and he calls her luxuriant hair, and you're like,
Yes, I
what?
mentioned that one.
And the thing that
Got
made
her
me
hair
crazy,
done very expensively.
very
Was the
expensively,
Yeah.
the thing that made me crazy because I also went through the 60 Minutes interview with a fine tooth comb, and I tried to reconstruct where they pulled. Because if you just watch the whole thing and watch the edited version, it's harder to follow it. So I just went through with a transcript and like every single time took hours. And I reconstructed like this is what they cut, this is what was here, this is what they cut, this is what was here. And I'm talking even like single words sometimes. And the thing that I noticed that drove me crazy is because I thought this is sane washing. You're sane washing this person. You're making him look better, and you shouldn't do that. Is they had a question where they said, like, what do you think of Zoran Mandani? And they cut like a good minute and a half, 2 minutes of him rambling about de Blasio. And then he finally got to Mandani. And I'm like, what are you doing? And like times where he would ramble and just say kind of the same thing over and over and over, they'd cut all that out to make him sound sane.